never knew, like, who is going to, release these inquiries to these people and what product they are quoting. And MacTech itself, they are just mentioning as a MacTech. And MacTech itself, more than 100 of portfolios, 100 plus. So mentioning just a MacTech product, that doesn't mean that they are using the right media for that right application. This
Yeah,
is
that's
also
what I'm
also
telling you,
important.
that you understand, me understand, Julius understands, because we are, within the industry, within this core product. But the damage, I'm saying, those people, how to curb down on those is something that primarily you as a distributor and a retailer also must address, figure out a way, and we will also provide our support. Because in case you don't curb it down, trust me, it's everyone else who's going to use the MacTac, the number of damages we will see. And in the long run, people will say, MacTac, no, it peels off, it
Yes,
bubbles
yes,
off, it this, it does. So I think more than us, we are supporting you merely because we are converters. But if you don't have a control on your audience, who you are selling or who is misusing, I'm sure there's a law in place that if anybody says MacTac, you must insist that there can be an ocular visit. And it's a small place, it's not like India. You have to do some kind of innovative solution, some inspection, something, and then you need to charge one or two people legally that how are you saying MacTac when you are not using?
yes, yes.
It's a tough
Jitesh,
exercise, but it will go a long way.
how can you be able to
Yes.
identify the counterfeit products, the replicas?
No, MacTech doesn't have any counterfeit so far.
No, I'm saying in
We
the
haven't
market,
seen-
we have counterfeits.
Yeah.
It is a fact that we all know, and this counterfeit becomes a huge challenge to us who buy the originals, because
Dangerous,
we are going to be
yes.
selling original at the cost of buying the original.
True.
And they are coming
Mhm.
already, when they are coming for competition, they are starting from half the price, half the cost.
Absolutely.
Yes. And a few other one of our competitor has this kind of issues with counterfeit products, but they are also running behind to find out the source who is importing those kind of films from China to here. You all knows that because the premium products comes from China doesn't make any sense, and they are just literally running behind the source, find the source, those who is importing.
Julius, I'm sorry to interrupt. Julius, once again, I'm previously, long back, I told Jitesh, their general manager, and Mr. Govind, when they asked about the solution, that, how we can control. I told them, why doesn't the MacTac itself on their main website put the region Middle East, then UAE and Dubai, and put the names of the authorized converters? Simple. So when I have a client who tells me that I have a lower price from Ajmandis or wherever, I will tell them, go look at the website whether that person is qualified or
Yeah,
not.
okay. This is a valid point. I will discuss with the management all these things.
What do you think, Julius? At least this is one way of curbing down on people who are just quoting MacTac from nowhere and then not even using it, or maybe using the media, not using the lamination.
No, I do believe is a valid point, because Jitish knows that last year we had a discussion about one of the main retail distributor in UAE whom we were quoting. Our quotation was, let's say, 500,000, and the client was getting 330,000. So when we did all calculations, the cost itself cannot justify the cost of buying material from Al-Shabaab.
Yes.
Is about 330,000. But that is, even Jitish is aware of the issue, because the client themselves contacted him to verify, did you even sell material to this kind of a company?
Yes.
So the counterfeit is a real problem. It is a real problem.
Not only, it also
It's a
affects
threat.
our integrity when they are going back to MacTac asking whether Mermaid or Yas Media is buying or not. I think they should say that you're not here doing a criminal case investigation. Their name is on our website. This is all we can say. They are our buyers. You're not this entertaining of the end user by the media supplier, what 3M started. This is another major hole in the bucket. I don't think a principal distributor must even entertain a client with this information. Tell him whether it is Mermaid, whether it is Yas Media, they're equally qualified.
Team, we really have to start now.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Really,
next time, Ashik, please invite us on a dinner so we will sit for 2-3 hours.
Done. Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to start right now.
Yes.
We have to.
All right, starting right now. Yep, please wait.
Okay.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the fourth edition of SGI Pulse, a monthly webinar series by SGI MENA. I'm Ashik Thomas Joseph from GL Exhibitions, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you today. At GL Exhibitions, we have been organizing exhibitions and conferences for the last 3 decades, creating platforms that connects industries, businesses, and decision makers. SGI MENA is continuing the legacy of SGI Dubai by reflecting our broader vision to engage the industry more continuously and meaningfully throughout the year. Our shows are not just for 3 days, they're for 365 days. As a part of this strategy, we are proud to introduce SGI Pulse, a Buyer Insight webinar series designed to help our exhibitors and potential exhibitors better understand the market. I would like to thank our panelists and our moderator for their time today, sharing their expertise and being part of such an important session. A special thank you for all of you all joining online today. We really hope you find this session insightful. Today's session is moderated by Ben, the editor-in-chief of Packaging Media. Ben, nice to have you on board once again. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Ashik. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to today's webinar.
Good afternoon to you.
The topic of today's webinar is Unwrapping the Future of Fleet Branding and Vehicle Graphics. New revenue opportunities, technology innovations, and solutions for business growth. So, a very interesting topic. So, we're going to look into this topic with 3 experts who are joining us. But before I introduce them to you, let me just run through a few important thoughts about fleet and vehicle graphics. So, fleet and vehicle graphics are developing beyond conventional signage applications, as we all know. I mean, more than me, I think you all know, being in the industry, that it's really evolving and it's been developing into a much more applicable and much more contemporary way than how it used to be a conventional signage application before. So across the UAE and the Gulf region and also the wider Middle East and Africa region, we have seen commercial fleets, logistic networks, mobility services, corporate branding programs. They're all being created with new requirements for durable, consistent, and professionally managed graphic solutions. However, delivering a successful fleet graphics program requires considerably more than printing and applying vinyl, right? It involves appropriate material specification, it involves controlled color reproduction, it also involves efficient production, skilled installation, project coordination, vehicle downtime management, and an informed understanding of life cycle performance. Yeah. So what are we talking today? We are examining the complete value chain from customer demand and material selection to large-scale execution of this technology and investment, profitability, recurring revenue, and future industry requirements, all under one ecosystem. So our objective is to identify the technical capabilities, investments, and commercial strategies that can help fleet graphics business deliver greater customer value while remaining productive, profitable, and competitive. So that's what we are seeing in today's fleet and vehicle graphics ecosystem. So more than me speaking about this, I have 3 experts with me here as my panelists. So I'd like to introduce the 3 of them one after the other, and then we can go into the details with some deep dive insights from these 3 wonderful people who are here with me. So to start with, we have Jitesh, who is having around 15 years of experience across large format digital printing, product specification, technical consultation, training, sales, and business development. His perspective with it will help us to understand how material selection and application performance, life cycle considerations, and all of that. We are going to hear it from a supplier standpoint from MacTech and Al Shabak MacTech Middle East. Welcome, Jitesh.
Thank you, Mr. Ben, and thank you, Mr. Ashik, for inviting me to this session.
Pleasure, thank you. And moving on, we also have Yasmin Butt, who is joining us here with us. Yasmin brings an end-to-end business and project delivery perspective covering customer relationship and design, printing and fleet role management, installation, coordination, quality control, pricing and profitability, all these important points. She represents, Yasmin Butt represents Yas Media. She's the managing director of this company. And I was talking to her, and there's one point which I noted, yes means yes. So yes, that's a very nice statement that you mentioned. Yasmin, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ben.
All right. And we also have Julius, our third panelist. And Julius is the general manager for Mermaid Group. He's got over 2 decades of experience at the company, including responsibility of sales, and he represents also the whole region, which is Middle East and Africa. He brings valuable experience in production, scaling up, color management, technology investment, regional business development, and a lot more. And I'm going to hear from him also. And welcome, Julius.
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you, other panelists as well. Thank you, Ashik.
Thank you. So to begin, I would like to invite each one of you with some important questions. We're going to go through them one by one. So let's start with Yasmin. Yasmin, if we can start with you, about the industry in general. First of all, just tell us very briefly about your company and what do you specialize in. Let's start with that.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Hello, everyone. Co-panelists, Ashik. So to make it very simple and brief, what you have said is actually that encompasses it all. But for the rest, who this webinar will reach. So I'm the owner of Yas Media, LLC, which is at the world's premier full-service corporate branding and premium print manufacturing powerhouse. At Yas Media, our operating philosophy is simple. In Yas, we say yes, and our yes must inspire your imagination to get solutions from us. So we take your marketing concepts and handle the entire life cycle under one roof, from designing to high-end digital printing to fabrication and nationwide installation. We are not restricted to Dubai only. So what we deliver is total brand mastery, from digital printing, vehicle wraps, big outdoor LED signages, and custom exhibition halls. We are a number one, tier one, company to be trusted by the brands. We are the production engine where industry giants like Pepsi, Canon, Masafi, so on and so forth, they've trusted us. So when those brands trust us, so you can imagine the kind of grill that we go through, right? And then we have a very rapid scale execution. We operate 24/7 out of our advanced Umrapool facility. We are located in Umrapool, opposite to Terminal 3. And we meet toughest deadlines in the industry. And our jobs speak for that when you see them on the road. So in short, we don't just print media. We build your physical brand presence, how your brand moves across, whether in mobile advertisement or in static. But since this is more about fleet, which is my core, which is our flagship product, so we make your brand physically move flawlessly. And this gives a very big push to your brand because it takes your brand to the people.
Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. That's wonderful. Thank you. And Julius, if I may also, ask you to go through your company and yourself briefly. I remember your company as fabric and flags and textile, application for print. Yeah. But you've evolved and you've grown and you're much more than that now. Tell us more.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, that is true. We were known mostly by our fabric printing capabilities over the years. And actually, we encountered a lot of challenges whenever we were speaking in our pitches saying we are not only doing fabric printing. I remember at a time we even had to talk about other capabilities and also mention we also print flags because the name was so dominant, the name was so permanent that you talk about flag, then you talk about Mermaid Digital. You talk about fabric, the name Mermaid Digital had to come into the picture. But over the years, we have evolved a lot. We are more now of a service delivery, service giving kind of a company. We've got four companies in one group. One is Mermaid Digital Printing. Second one is Mermaid Event and Exhibition. Third one is Gallery Mermaid. And fourth one is Mermaid Signage and Graphics. All right. So if I was to speak briefly about each, in Mermaid Digital Printing is where we focus mainly on printing. All types of substrate, I would say, whether it goes to wood on flatbed printing machines, we've got graphic division, fabric printing division, large format, 5-meter UV printing, all types of technologies we've got in man-made digital printing, UV, eco-solvent, latex. We've got that in there. Then we've got man-made event and exhibition, where mostly we focus on event production, we focus on exhibition build-up, activations work. And then we've got the signage, definitely, where it is all types of short-term, long-term, permanent-based types of signages. Fourth one is the gallery mermaid, where we do mostly the artwork consultation, artwork creations, artifacts, production, as well as installations. We take up, let's say, hospitality project. We can take, like, for example, Hilton is our client, Intercontinental is our client. We pick up the whole hotel and deliver the artworks in all the rooms, in public areas. We do the signages, we're finding signages, we do the wallpapers. That is what we do in the fourth company. So it's a group of companies that is offering a lot of services. So we no longer only doing the product called fabric, we're doing a lot of other services that we offer to our clients.
Thank you, Julius. Now comes a very important part, which is the supplier who is supplying a lot of important materials, substrates, and structures required to put this together for both Julius and also for Yasmin. Jitesh, thank you for joining us, and take us through your company, Al Shabak MacTech. I know it's meant MacTech. The name speaks for itself as a premium brand. So let's say the consumable solutions for fleet and vehicle graphics. So brief us about your company and also how important it is for vehicle graphics business.
Sure. My name is Jitesh Kotai, and I represent Al Shabak MacTech Middle East. We are having a headquarters in Dubai and spread all over GCC. For the past 18 years, I've been working closely with design makers, vehicle wrapping specialists, and large format printers and fleet operators across the GCC. And my role extends beyond the product specification. I work closely with the customers to recommend the right media solution and solve technical challenges, conduct trainings, and help business to improve. All those things is my part of my job by increasing profitability by selecting the right solution for the right application. And going through our technical specification, I'm the one who is doing most of the technical specification in our region, especially in the Dubai and Oman. Working with one of the Europe's leading brands, MacTech has given us valuable exposure to global innovation while understanding the unique challenges in our regional climate and how to manage these climatic challenges, doing R&D through this our partners like Gas Media and Mermaid Digital. I'm looking forward to sharing some practical insight today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jitesh. Let's go on to the main theme of today's webinar and a few important insights from three of you, starting with Yasmin. Yasmin, you are close to customers, as you had mentioned, and involved in delivering projects from concept through installation and
That's
in
right.
time, as you correctly said. That's your specialty. So which customer sectors are currently generating demand for fleet branding in the UAE, if I may ask you? And where do you see the strongest opportunities for repeat business in this?
Previously, vehicle branding was very much restricted to FMCG, because long back, a decade and a half or more back, FMCG was more seen, as a category that would brand on the vehicles, whether it was mostly food, like frozen food or ice creams or water. But the way fleet graphics has evolved, the way the ROIs have been seen by the clients, the end users, it has broken all those barriers, whether it is electronics companies, whether it is fashion, whether it is any other consumable, household consumer. People do prefer to let their vehicles fleet, whether rented or owned, to have their product. It gives them a lot of pride, passion that they see their product, they target your audience. It does not remain restricted to the place where there's a static signage like a hoarding or a unipole or a mopi sign or a roll-up stand. That has a lot of restriction, and all those restrictions are mitigated by the vehicle graphics.
Right.
So currently, if you say fleet graphics, I would say anybody anybody for that matter, UAE being a very small country and very well connected, when it comes to all intra-Emirates business, intra-Emirates transportation, the facilities, anyone having even more than 5 to 10 vehicles must opt for this form of advertising, because wherever, we spend half of our lives on the roads here, right? So what other better place to have your brand moving around than such a place, right? So and especially one more thing, what happens is when there's a vehicle passing by you and you happen to see your favorite brand or a new brand that you have not seen, right? You do tend to turn your head and look into it. And I've heard it from the customers, or we've been convinced a lot of brands to go for that, and they did see the immediate result wherein they saw the people in the malls looking and asking for that brand, right? So impact is very high. There's an impact that can be studied across other formats of the branding, but trust me, if someone asks me for vehicle branding, I say it's like unlimited. You cannot even measure it, right? And audience, right from the child of a school, his favorite milk or a toy, right, Legos or something, or an adult, a very what do you call it, conservative customer who's looking for something cheap and best and new or reasonable, or an elderly person who's not working, some medicines or hospital or whatever. It's everything out there. So age barrier, connecting with the product line, service line, that all gets mitigated by this.
Right. Thank you.
Now, going forward, as I said, anyone and everyone having the smallest fleet size. And earlier there was one myth, which I think is very important to put across. Of course, big fleet owners know it, that it's not necessarily that you own a fleet. Rented fleets are also used and can be branded. The extra document that you require is NOC from the rental company, and the rest is okay.
Right. Right. I'll come back to you with another question on the same point. But before that, let me go to Julius. Julius, following on what Yasmin highlighted, okay, from your regional sales and business growth perspective, let me ask you this question. Are customers treating fleet graphics primarily as a one-time branding requirement, or are you seeing greater interest in structured, ongoing fleet programs, or let's say repeat business?
I would agree with the point of Yasmin about the changes in the industry from FMCG, who used to be mainly the consumers of the vehicle graphics. I have seen a change post-COVID. Yeah, post-COVID things changed a little bit. There was emergence of e-commerce. A lot of business, a lot of companies have come up. We can call them, Amazon was there, but it became bigger after that. We had companies like Noon, we have Tarabat. All these companies came after the post-COVID. And they were competing for the same small market. So when I look at it, I see Dubai and I see Saudi Arabia, for example, because sometimes this business is done within these two countries and to go to vehicle graphics. So post-COVID, the emergence of e-commerce have driven that business to high levels. If you look today, the automotive industry, the current sales, I would say last year, according to the data available, there were sales of about 37,000 vehicles were sold in UAE, of which 55% were light commercial vehicles. That means van, 1 ton, 3 ton vehicles. And these vehicles are coming to the market to do deliveries, last mile delivery, courier services, logistic companies have become a lot of them in this industry. So yes, there is that growth, and I see that potential and see that possibility continuing to happen, because I don't think e-commerce is here to end now. It will continue growing more and more. So yeah, the future is looking better for the freight branding business, if you look on that perspective. And it is not only UAE, I would say region-wise. Saudi Arabia being a very big country.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's speak from the material standpoint. Jitesh, from materials side, are changing customer expectations creating demand for more specialized films and adhesives and laminates, or is it something which is, the regular one, which people just want to do some fleet graphic work and some kind of branding, but is it getting more premium, or is it getting more versionized? Is there an upgrade in this industry when it comes to the materials that customers are asking? Of course, this question applies to both Julius and Asmin as well, but because you're supplying material, let me ask you this question. Before I have another technical question, but first of all, please answer, what is the customer expectation?
Okay. Well, Mr. Ben, we'll go through some history of the vehicle graphics.
Right.
In past 20, 25 years before, I said like the vehicle graphics boom started in about around 20 years back. If I'm wrong, Madam Yasmin can correct because she is one of the pioneer in this industry. Because of this boom, the industry started growing and the converters had a lot of challenges, including lack of professional applicators, right media specs, training, all etc. By the time they were truly depending on the distributors for those kind of information. There's no information available in the market at the 20, 25 years back. We distributors are also depending on our principals to get proper support and training. And together we have done a lot of R&D at this time and in this region. The result today we are one of the most trusted partner for the leading converters across the GCC. Like Mr. Yasmin said, the MNC FMCG companies they brought this culture to the UAE. Eventually, it migrated to the other service sectors by 2005 and 2008. So this was the first phase of shaping this future. Before that, the vehicle graphics means is just a piece of decals for the vehicles with the both side. You might have seen some kind of letters on the both side of the vehicle. The vehicle graphics no longer just about today. The vehicle graphics is no longer just about covering a vehicle with vinyl. They are about the protecting the brand's image, like Mr. Jasmine said, every day on the road. Today, customers know the potential of the vehicle graphics versus the conventional statics advertising as well. It gives 60 to 65% more attention to the audience. And same like Mr. when Julius said, the game, they were started the game in 2005 or 2006. Today, the vehicle graphics means the end users expecting a complete branding solution on the entire fleet and vibrant colors and image. In some of the GCC countries, the vehicle traffic is still regulated by strict laws, but in UAE, we still have some relaxation to compared to others. We are seeing a tremendous growth in logistic fleets, same like Mr. Julius said, e-commerce delivery vehicles and government fleets, especially public transport vehicles like taxis, bikes, trams. Now the new trains is going to come, and the metros, new corporate trains, food delivery companies, luxury color change, customization, paint protection, and lot more. Now people are also started the promotional fleet campaigns, like it's for like 3 months campaign, 5 months campaign. From a material perspective view, modern cast films and reconstruction adhesive and air release technologies, the state of bubble fleet technologies and high performance laminates have significantly improved the installation quality and long-term durability. This is really an added advantage. So we are working on more R&D to deliver good product to the market to the customers. Customers now also started asking for the easy removal, like after over a period like 3 or 4 years, they need to go for an easy removal without any residue. Minimal downtime, longer warranties, better color consistency, faster installation. Those kinds of question is rising now. This can create more opportunity to companies like Yes Media or Mermaid or whoever is our uh, converters. The company that focus on quality and service rather than simply offering the lowest price, I often tell customers don't sell vinyl, sell confidence, reliability, and the right product, and sleep well without any nightmare calls from your customers.
Sorry,
Ben,
I
you're
was
on.
on. Sorry, I was on mute for that. Sorry for that. Staying with you, Jitesh, I have another very important question. The most important question I would say for you today is about the region that we are in. We are the Gulf region where we are facing intense heat. Okay, we also face
Yes.
dust. We are having prolonged outdoor exposure and frequent cleaning of the fleet, of the vehicles that we
Yes.
are working on, okay? From a technology standpoint, of which technical factors must be considered when specifying films, and obviously adhesives are part of that, and the laminates for these extreme conditions. Technically, can you educate us on this?
See, technically, our region is probably in one of the toughest environments anywhere in the world for vehicle graphics. Technically, we call it as Zone 3. There's Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. We often deal with these concerns like service temperature is exceeding more than 50 degrees Celsius in this climate, and extremely high UV exposures, like sand absorption, frequent vehicle washing, humidity in coastal regions, condensation on chiller trucks while application like the um, I, for example, for the dairy companies trucks. All these, what kind of printing and laminates are being used. Because of all these conditions, selecting the right film becomes more critical. So we always recommend to our end users, go through your any of your certified converters. So the converters, if anything happens, the converters can come to us for the the specification. So once we know what kind of project is going on, we can go with them and specify which media has to be used for this particular project.
Right. Okay, thank you. And now, dwelling on the same point, same question, of course, from a business standpoint, let's speak to Yasmin and Julius. Of course, Jitesh mentioned about quality is more important than a product which is a little affordable or cheaper, but it lacks in many other areas and it might underperform. So, Yasmin, if I may ask you this question, right? How do you explain the difference between initial material price, okay, and total life cycle cost to a customer, to one of your customers, okay, who is primarily focused on securing the lowest quotation? He wants the best, he wants the lowest possible price, and probably he wants the best product. So how do you convince and how do you really meet this? Because MacTech, as Jitesh mentions, he has a quality product, but it also comes with a price. So how do you really manage such kind of scenario?
See, when there's a client, there was a time when there would be an inquiry and we would quote based upon our, expertise, specifications, and everything that goes around it. Quality, durability, turnaround time, service, and after, the job is done, of course, we carry the warranties on our shoulders, as I said previously, whether it is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. The Rani branding project that we did way back in 2003, I think it was the only project, Jitesh will agree, which we gave 5-year warranty. And even until beyond 10 years, there was no fading on the vehicles. The branding expired, it became the part of the body because of the, PVC derivative, but no fading happened. Now, when it comes, nowadays, the quotation is like when the client sends you an inquiry, he has a target price, right? And thanks to the rest of the converters in other Emirates, with due respect, who have lower cost of operations, they don't quote low only because of the lower cost. Okay, they quote on following basis. They will quote the same specifications as Yas Media because, as I said earlier, our quotation specifications get distributed or get circulated in the market because people do trust us that we are the company who will give the absolutely 100% accurate specifications. Okay, now where do they play? They will use the MACTAC, but they may not use the conformable media code, which is required for that surface. Because there's a different material for flat, there's a different material for riveted or semi-curved or a highly conformable, like front of the engine, front of the vehicle body, cabin, or the bumper. Then another place they play with is they will use the right material for printing, but they will use a different lamination, a cheaper lamination from a Chinese company. And third thing is that they may say, for example, a vehicle body has a flat surface or a curved surface. They will say we'll use cast all over, but the body requires flat and the cabin requires cast, high conformable material. However, this is where the thing comes. Now, highly qualified companies would know whether they can play the trick or not, because we have to bear the responsibility of the warranties. So flat media normally does not come for more than 1 year warranty, 6 months to 1 year. As Jitesh earlier said, that now they have removable graphics also for companies who want to do regular branding of different products. Same company, but they have different, especially the food and other companies. So whenever the customer comes back, so we educate them. Education is the key. Awareness is the key. I don't mind if I don't get that client today, that project, but I'm very sure if someone has provided him a quotation lower than 20 to 30%, which is impossible because 15% is the margin I am working on. And if it is same MACTAC, where can I go wrong with the pricing, right? So I confidently educate the person without getting hyper, and I let them go. And I would confidently say 90% of the time, the client has come back to me, regretted what they did. So the simple logic, which I'm sure Julius does the same, we educate our client, we tell them, take our sample, take plain media, take printed media, take laminated, take non-laminated, and we give them separate swatches also, which Al-Sebak has been very sometimes kind. Sometimes if we don't have a swatch, they will come. Even Jitesh at 10:30, he's having dinner. Jitesh, I need this. He will come and do that. That's how we have grown together. Because my client is expecting that from me. That's why I said previously, it's not client who's the king, it's my vendor, my supplier who's the king. Because he supports me, so I'm able to deliver my promises and commitments. So how it can be mitigated is, it's a tough game, but education in any sector, you see, from the childhood we get educated, so that's how we are able to play in different industries in the world. So education is the key. This is the only way to mitigate, and your client will earn you will earn your client's trust when you go sit across the table and talk about. Like for me, even if I am half asleep, for fleet branding I can speak for hours, any sort of vehicle graphics. Even if someone tells me you have to wrap an aeroplane tomorrow, I will immediately say yes without even thinking, because I know I can deal it, because I know the subject, I know the product, I know the whole process. So your knowledge, skills, and confidence will speak for itself. You're muted, Ben. I think I missed some nice appreciation from Ben. Ben, you're muted.
Oh God, sorry.
Ben, please repeat. You were smiling. I think you were talking something good about me.
I was saying you don't have to explain about that because your passion says that. Okay,
Thank you.
so that's what I was saying. Thank you, and I think Julius, you might have similar things to say, but let me ask you, at Mermaid, how do you handle such a scenario?
Yes, we would love to hear from Julius.
Ensuring profitability sometimes is a problem, but it is the key, because you are running a business. At the end of it, you have to make sure there are profits. The challenges are there. That is true. That is a fact. Making sure that you select the right media comes with the company you choose to work. And that is why we only work with MACTAC. Unless the client comes and specify, I want to work with 3M, they specify that, we are always by MACTAC. We trust them. We know they're not going to let us down. Beyond the choice of material like MACTAC, we choose the right technology to use. We always make sure that we choose the right ink. Like, for example, Yasmin was explaining how she did Rani Juice, and it lasted for 10 years and it never faded because she was able to choose the right technology and the correct ink to go by that. So yeah, the challenges are there in terms of the competition, and we are not going to be able to do anything about it apart from making sure that we look at what is right. We don't want to do transactional business whereby I sell today, whether you come to me tomorrow, you don't come to me tomorrow. I give you my invoice, you paid me, I'm done, I'm gone. No, we don't want to do that. Otherwise, we could not be here for 23 years. We are here because we care what you give to our client. We care how we do it. We care that you can come back again. So in terms of warranty, respecting it, honoring it, and we know it is a cost, whether it was 3 years warranty, 4 years warranty, 2 years warranty, we know there is a cost attached to that at the end of it. So we make sure what we give to you, we are sure you're not going to come to us in 2 years or in 3 years, unless you damage it and we charge you for that.
True.
Because our warranty is not going to cover your actions of your responsibility from part of your driver. That we don't touch on that. And again, we make sure when we are producing what we're producing, we get the approvals in terms of the color parity, it's the correct Pantone color. We make sure that we always work closely with MACTAC to continue retraining our team. So we don't have to deliver a vehicle, then after one day, the graphics are coming off. So we make sure that we do our part, we do our job that we're supposed to do. and the client has no reason not to come back to us, because regular business, repeated business will make sure they don't go looking for another supplier who gives them a little bit of a discount. They are not going to run away from us if we give them the correct service. We deliver on time. We don't keep their delivery vehicles with us longer than they should be kept with us. And then they're not going to go to Ajuman Sharjah looking for a supplier who is giving 10 dirham discount less. And again, we also don't try to sell less. We want to sell at a premium as well, because we want to give you a project management, proper service delivery. And if you choose to go to Ajuman for 10 dirham discount, okay, we give you training and we say, okay, we are open. Next time, come and meet us.
Right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Julius.
So-
It's very interesting to hear from you. Sorry, Jitesh, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, the educating people is a big task. Sometimes some of them will come and ask us, why can't I use a cheaper material? It's just for a few months of application. Like, why can't I? Should I use a monomeric? And the answer is quite simple. But the different applications require the different technologies. We are categorized into three different categories. We categorize into three. One is usually call it as flat, and then it comes to 3D and 2D curves. For example, I will give you often I will use a simple analogy. If you want to drive across the desert, you choose a 4x4 with a differential. You won't even consider taking a standard saloon car, even it has a 6-cylinder or 8-cylinder with a high bhp, because you will get stuck almost immediately you start. It is not that car is bad. It's simply the wrong vehicle. You're using the wrong vehicle for the same purpose. Vehicle graphics is also same. It's exactly same. If you use a different product for different application, you are going to fail. So the 3D complex curves required 3D the premium cast films. For the flat application, you need the premium monomeric. The intermediate application, you may go with our hybrid or a premium polymeric vinyl. Same like Mr. Julius and Mr. Asmin said. This is what I want to convey on this.
Right. Thank you. As an outsider, you guys are professionals producing this and supplying material. So let's say I'm an outsider, I'm a consumer. Okay. I'm just asking a very free question. Anyone can answer. Okay. So who should ultimately carry the responsibility for approving the specifications? Okay. We're talking about the material supplier. Is it the material supplier? Like Jitesh, or is it the producer or converter like Yasmin and Julius, or the person who's installing this, or the fleet owner? Let's say it's me. I have no option, but I have to bear the responsibility. It's a very free question I'm asking. If you could answer this, who takes the responsibility? Of course, you give warranty, you give everything, but it depends on the product itself. So who takes the responsibility? If my question is
Yas Media.
Okay.
For Yas Media, it's always us who have taken and should take, because we are a bridge between the end user and the media supplier. Media supplier may want to sell us a very high-end product for their pricing invoicing, which may not perhaps be required by my client. And at the same time, client might ask for something which is very cheap but is not conformable, suitable for his project. So a converter must be qualified to know the needs of client and forward that requirements to the supplier, because it's not only media and it's not only customer. As Julius rightly said, it's the right ink, right temperature when you print, right colors, right the technology, whether it is solvent, eco-solvent, latex nowadays, or UV. You should know how the media will behave in the different printing technologies and whether that kind of printing technology was supposed to be used. And then again, you have to install it within certain standard temperatures. So it's only you as a converter who knows the entire 360-degree process and should bear the responsibility. That's right. For me. I think Julius may have a different thing to say.
Yeah,
or same.
No, I agree with you to whatever you've said, but I have seen a trend. I don't know whether you've seen that, Yasmin, where some of these companies are floating a tender with what they want to buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I said.
This is my tender. I want this material.
Yes.
I want IJ, whatever it is. I want you to print it on UV. I want 5 years warranty. They put their specs, they put their demand.
Yes.
All right. When it comes to that, is where we say, whatever you are asking for, these are limitations. We cannot be able to give you 4 years warranty. If you are getting 4 years warranty, it could be from the materials supplier that you are telling us to go and buy. They can give that to you. For us, we prefer working this way, this model. If you want us to continue, we can submit our prices according to what we can tie ourselves to. Because I don't know, like we are saying, the material suppliers are directly approaching the end customers to give them training. All right. They are trying to get the business for their own brand. So they will go to a customer and say, why are you using MacTac? All right. Our product is superior. You can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, you can do this. So when they put the tailored specification, a particular material, it becomes very difficult to change them from that material to another material. We face that problem. So on that note, if you don't want to change from that material, I'm only going to quote to you according to that material warranty. If they give me that warranty, is back to back.
It's valid. It's a very valid.
I would add something here, Ben. See, when these people, the media suppliers, when they float their technical data sheet or when their technical data sheet is available on their website, the end user does not understand the TDS reflecting to the shelf life of the material. Not after having treated it with the ink, with the cuts, with the heat gun, and with the external temperature, right? Another thing, if it is made in Europe, the shelf life is applicable to European climate and weather, not for Middle East. So this is what I'm telling you. Only after having spent, like I've spent 2.5 decades in this industry, would you know what is the right thing to offer? And I have faced exactly the same thing where I think I'll be vocal. Anyways, 3M hates me. Most of the clients who will come with the 3M, IJ this thing, this, you have to use this and this warranty. I try my best keeping my calm and telling them what you are asking is not possible. However, as Julia said, if you want it, I will say in my quotation, which looks very funny like a child, that warranties are directly given by 3M. My warranty is this. And I tell them, please give this quotation to the sign trade. Tell them this is what Yasmin has quoted. And again, sign trade hates me to the quote, but they can't help. They have to sell me.
Right. So let's leave it there with sign trade. Okay. It was nice. Thank you for being honest and vocal. That's nice of you. So Jitesh, my question to you on what Yasmin mentioned.
For us,
my question is slightly different. You can answer after that, but I have a question to ask you. So now Yasmin mentioned there are different conditions of the same substrate or the material in Europe and in the Middle East, or let's say in Dubai.
Yes, of course.
So do you have same grades but with different let's say subgrades for Europe and the Middle East?
No, we don't have any subgrades. We are using the same product over there in Europe and the same product here in GCC. But in GCC, we have done our regional R&Ds through our converters and our partners. Before in any new vinyls, before going to the market, we do our research through our converters and make sure this film is compatible for this climate. So we won't offer any two products. One is in for Europe and one is in for UAE. Then no. But as I said before, we are in this category is the 3 zones. The one is the zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. Unfortunately, we are in zone 3, which is high UV exposure, and other parameters also there. Desert condition, all these parameters we have to look into. So obviously the warranty will be much lesser than what we are offering in Europe.
Right. Okay, thank you. Let's go into another very interesting quick point or a question for all three of you. So Julius, if I may start with you, right? We are talking about executing a large fleet program, okay, for the signage that we're talking about, okay, and speed is important, no doubt, when it comes to large fleet, but how important is color consistency, if printing is involved a lot, and the installation quality. How do you handle this at Mermaid?
Yeah, thank you, Benno. These are some of the things you learn through experience. You make mistake at the beginning point, you make another mistake, it costs you money. At the end of it, you have experience. So we have an ecosystem with us that we've created. This ecosystem involves our creative studio in terms of setting the artwork, where from the mistake we ran, we decided the most of the vehicle that comes to us, you get vans, you get 1 ton, you get 3 ton, you get old van, you get hairs, you end up having most of them are similar sizes. So we kept a template, all right? Even though we have a template, we make sure this is for speeding up to do mock-up for client approval. We are not going to start producing without client seeing the artwork layout, approve it, then we go to the sampling process. So our design studio does that mock-up with the existing template. Once the client have shared with us that I'm having 300 vehicles, 50, 10 ton, 7, whatever it is, that breakdown accordingly we move from there. So from the creation of mock-up, the artwork, we go to the color sampling, all right? What are the colors? Because you have to make sure if you're having 300 vehicles, you're having a timeline that you need to make sure that you do the delivery. Maybe they're having a campaign. This campaign is to be launched at a particular date. So the commitment has to be meeting that particular deadline. So when you go to the color matching, they have to sign off, approved on it. These colors have approved, these Pantone have approved, and we proceed for production. We've got different technologies with us. We've got latex, we've got UV, we've got eco-solvent. Then we've got a system that makes sure the color are properly calibrated and matching in all the 3 technologies. So if it is similar design, then we can allocate 1 or 2 machines to be able to run on that, because we do not want the first vehicle to look different from the 300 vehicles that we are going to deliver. It should be all similar. So we've got a team that manages the quality, that what is printed is done. After printing, we've got the curing process. We don't go to lamination until we press this graphic at least 24 hours for the fumes to disappear from the print. Otherwise, if you laminate with the fumes, you have a possibility of lamination being broken because of the fumes being stuck in between the print. Then from there, we've got a team that is well trained, all right? They are trained by Al-Shabak regularly. Even though they are experienced, they could be having 10 years experience. No problem. You must go yearly training again, because we know sometimes we pick up bad habits. Even a good student can pick up bad habit, even though it is wrong, they do. So we make sure they have a chance to unlearn the bad habit when they go to meet GT's team. They are retrained again, they come back, they are properly done. So then we segregate, we say for us to be able to do 300 vehicles, how many vehicles can we deliver in a day? What is the client requirement? Accordingly, we segregate our team, and we work 24 hours. From January to December, we operate 24 hours. Our vehicle graphic division is well set, well covered with AC, because if the vehicle comes and it is dirty, or a dust settles on the vehicle, you're going to have a lot of other problems. Then when the vehicle comes, we inspect the vehicle with the client, we take the photos. If it is a new vehicle, it is an old vehicle, you have different problems. If you have to remove existing sticker from the vehicle, you do not know what you are going to meet. Maybe the paint is chipped off, maybe the paint is old, maybe you have to do repainting again. All right, so we check all these issues, we address them, we communicate with the client, documented one, that this vehicle is having a previous accident and the work that was done on the vehicle is not proper. The paint is not original. If it is not original, you are possibly going to have a problem when you apply the graphics on this particular vehicle. Documented, shared with the client, approvals are given. Accordingly, we proceed to deliver. Once the vehicle is completed, we take photos, we share with the client. When their driver is coming to pick, our team, our supervisor, make sure they inspect the vehicle, they hand over properly. So in terms of managing the full ecosystem, we've got a project manager who is awarded this job. This is your project. You have to coordinate with the client, to the client logistic team when the vehicles are coming, when they're supposed to come, to make sure the downtime is not going to affect their business. We have to care for them. We don't want to keep their delivery van 3 days with us. It is a lost business for them. So we make sure we think what is good for them. At least then they can be able to keep giving us regular business, because for us, it is not transactional business. It's not one-time selling. It is a service. It is a client whom we want to keep for a long period of time. we take it
Sure.
as a project-based approach.
Right, right. Thank you, Julius. And Yasmin, very briefly, your take on the same question. We have less time, so I've got a couple more questions to ask both of you, or rather three of you. So let's make it quick. A very quick take on the same question from your perspective.
See, more or less, the process follows same. Vehicle branding, the process goes to the same. However, what we have done over the period of time, just to facilitate more to our clients, whenever there's a huge fleet, we have a qualified team which goes at the site, especially FMCG vehicles, where they have the vehicles parked at night late and they leave early morning by 4 or 5. Our team goes, they does all the evaluation, inspection, everything then and there. It is a gruesome task, but it saves a lot of time later. And been doing it over 2 decades, we have almost all the templates. However, especially with the vans and when the freezer bodies are made with different suppliers, they have different frames, or they have different place for the handle or something, cut marks. We do make sure this team is so fast now. When the actual vehicle comes to us, after the mock-up and color calibration, everything is approved. When it comes for the actual job, okay, we call them account manager, they're not sales. Every brand has its own account manager who has a brand guidelines brief from the very beginning. When the vehicle comes, he knows the vehicle has come, he assesses, he has the file, he produces, and he supervises the team. So that way we make sure that there is one responsible head for each brand. Any questions asked, so that makes him also responsible. And these team members of mine, they are so much aligned to their brand, that this is my brand and this is my brand. So this initial exercise of going to the client site and making sure you carry out all the inspection, you will be able to accomplish at least 90% of the time consuming work when the vehicle comes to you. Rest, whatever Julius said, is exactly the same.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now is a very interesting one coming up, okay, for all three of you. And leaving aside the current scenario that we are all in, okay, so we are talking about cost, cost of your product that you're producing, and price is a very important part of what we are doing on a daily basis, okay. Yasmin, I'll start with you. So customers are increasingly prioritizing on this particular point, which is price and price and price. That's the main point. I think we all agree on this point. So how can providers like you or converters like you protect your margin on one side without compromising on the material selection or the print quality or the installation standards? How do you make this balance of meeting this? I know it's a tough question for you to answer, but let me hear from you.
Look, safeguarding yourself 100% and protecting is not possible. Point blank. It's just, if someone tells me it's possible, I will not agree. Marginals have depleted considerably. However, volumes have come up. Previously, if I was selling something at 150, 130 per square meter, there were a handful of people who were doing fleet branding. Okay. Now it's a very popular product. So here it's become a volume game, which I believe with any other industry in the world, right? You have to play with the volumes without compromising on your integrity. You have no option but to choose the right material, and a little bit brunt has to be borne by the supplier, like Al-Shabak, which with us they do a lot of times. We tend to share the difficult times together. All right. So no, compromising on quality cannot happen. But yes, your knowledge, if someone requires something over a certain period of time and you ask them what is the objective of the fleet graphics, perhaps you can offer a more lucrative solution. So understanding the ideology, the psychology of the brand owner, what they exactly want out of it, why do they want it long term, why not short term? If they have multiple brands, I suggest them changing and making this vehicle use for more products. Second is, yes, a little bit of crisis you have to play, but then you have to increase your volume with them. Whether it is vehicle graphics, or you can always open your window of more products, how Julius and we offer more solutions. So that is where you will try to just make it a comprehensive deal. If fleet branding has got you inside, try to look around and see what more you can sell. That's the only way you can make the things lesser loss bearing, or
Right.
safeguard your profits to a certain extent.
Thank you, Yasmin. Very quickly, Julius, your take on that important question on price.
It is true, we've seen the profitability come down if you look at it. And I've seen another trend that is happening. The graphic applicators, I would say the salaries have increased by 30-40% over the last 2-3 years. Yeah. If you have a master applicator who is 6-7 years experience, the salary they used to take 2019, they don't touch it today. Because there is a sector of freelancer applicators in the market. All right. These freelancer applicators in the market, they will charge you per square meter, they'll charge you per vehicle. They are not tied to you. They don't have a commitment for you. Because in this industry, we can buy material from Mactac, all of us at the same price. All right. We can buy ink in this market, all of us, maybe same price. Maybe what could be a difference is the payment terms. You have an agreement with your supplier. If you are paying cash, you get a little bit discount. If you are 90 days, you get a little bit more. All right. But within the same marginal margins. If it goes to the technology of printing, it is available for everybody. The machines are available for everybody. The speed of printing has increased for everybody. All right. Now, the difference maker, it goes only when it goes to the application. You could have applicators who make you make a loss because they did wrong application. The application is not correct. There is material wastage. So you end up making a loss. Now, what we faced in terms of a cost challenge is these small entities who do not keep regular salaries for applicators. They only pay a one-time cost for a project. All right. So this person can take the project for any price, any day, any time, because this person will only be paid for work done. Bye-bye. There is no overhead cost, no accommodation, no insurance cover, no transport, no annual leave, no nothing. So this guy may make more profit margin than you, who has a team of 20, 30 applicators, whom you pay regularly, you give salary increment, you give bonuses. That problem is massive because these freelancers has become more and more in this particular market.
Very good point. Yeah. Sorry.
Chacha.
Yeah. Thank you. Very good point. I think both of you gave your take, which is very interesting and very important. But Jitesh, in one sentence or less than a couple of minutes, because we have one more important question to finish and we're running out of time. So very quickly from your side, we are talking about MacTech and, the substrates that you're providing, which certainly, accounts for easily about, correct me if I'm wrong, probably 60% or even 70% of the cost of the product comes from you because it's the main product, the supply of the material. So volumes, as Yasmin mentioned, it's a volume game now. Okay, so now price is increasing in every possible way. And to add to that, we also have price increase because of the current scenario we're going through. So what's your take about price versus volume game that's going on? I mean, as MacTech and as Shabak, what are you offering to your converters which can make you set apart from so many other suppliers?
See, there are many factors involved in the vehicle graphics, not only the media. Media is one among on this. Many purchasing decisions are still based on the cheapest material available, not for the right product. This is one of the biggest challenge. So we have to educate the market, the right product for the right application. Due to the current geopolitical situation, as a distributor, our cost has been gone high, increased drastically. I would say about on an average of 15% or more on an average. So this is going to add on to the new invoices by August or September. We already started. So hopefully we understand. We hope our converters will understand our situation and they will cooperate with us for this overcoming this situation.
Right. Okay. That's a nice point. Thank you for saying that. Yasmin smiles when when you say that. Anyway, so we all are going through. It's not just Yasmin and Julius and even
Everyone.
Jitesh. All of us, we are going through this price, and some of us we have to pass on the price
Yeah,
to
honestly,
the end
now the
customer.
end users they are making the profit, not we, not the converters.
Converters,
The
yes.
end users they are going to make the profit. None of us is making any profit at the current scenario.
Right.
I agree.
Okay. One very quick question before we wrap up this very interesting discussion, and hope we have another opportunity to connect together. I know the audience would have really enjoyed this, but I've missed out one important question. But I want a one sentence answer from three of you because we are running out of time. What does sustainability mean to you in a competitive market like this? The word sustainability is overused, and it's used for branding. It's used for a real purpose of sustainability. Let's also add that. That's a very important point. And whether it's on the structure or the substrate, whether it's on inks, on adhesives, or let's say in the overall ecosystem, sustainability plays an important role in sign and graphic imaging. So starting with Jitesh, because you provide the materials, tell me, what does sustainability mean for you as a supplier?
See, the sustainability means like eco-friendly. This is what they were asking for. But unfortunately, in the vehicle graphics segment, we are far away from this uh, mm, eco-friendly media. We cannot offer any of these eco-friendly media to the current market because we are still on R&D for this region. But in Europe, it is already been there, but we are in R&D for this region. Soon, we will introduce this product to this market.
All right, and Julius has something to say. Please go ahead.
It is becoming a demand from our customers. Since COP28, every entity, whether it is government, corporate, they're asking, do you have sustainable material? Do you have recycled graphics? Everybody wants to buy for that. I'm seeing in the TEDA document asking, in the vehicle graphics, and use sustainable eco-friendly materials. And it is a problem I think only GTH can come up with, a solution only them can be able to give to us. So we're answering our customer, it is not possible as of now, but it is going to be a requirement as we go into the future. It is going to be a demand, a lot of it. I have seen several samples, people are saying is fabric kind of a sticker, which cannot work with vehicle graphics. You cannot do it on a bonnet. It is not going to work. But GTish, maybe it's something that you have to come back to us with. It is getting demanded from our customer.
Right. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
So for the other graphics options, for the indoor and all, we do have plenty of options. But for the vehicle graphics, especially for the vehicle graphics, we are still on R&D because we cannot offer you at this point of time. And soon we will, once we pass the test, then we will introduce this vinyl.
No, I think you're absolutely right, Jitesh. There are many sustainable solutions that are there, but for vehicle graphics particularly, challenges are also pretty high because you cannot come up with eco-friendly solution with intense heat and dust, and at the same time it should perform. But anyway, before we end up, Yasmin, your take on this, please.
See, there are three parameters to our business, our vehicle graphics, okay, in terms of sustainability. One is PVC-free material, which at the moment is not possible. But other two components are ink and wastage, which we have a complete sustainable approach. I think maybe Jitesh and Julius did not get it. The HP latex ink is eco-friendly. It is certified across Europe because Europe, they are not now allowing any sort of inks. That is why solvent and eco-solvent has got wiped away. So we are partially sustainable. Now coming to the waste management, of course, I have a long process in place. I'm sure Julius and Jitesh also has. So I would say treating the waste in the right sustainable manner because municipality is watching us all the time. So that if I make you go through that process, that will be long. So our waste and whatever is treated properly, sustainably. So ink is latex, which is eco-friendly. So the only thing now, the PVC derivative media, which has to be not inflammable and not something that leaves a carbon, but I think that is only the 30 to 40% that we have to work towards and see how it gets emerged in the market, which I'm sure it should be in the coming future because it will come from Europe. If they produce it, we'll have that solution. So yes, 60%, I would say my company has a sustainable approach towards vehicle branding.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much, Yasmin and Jitesh and Julius. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to underline something about the training. Both of them, they were talking about the training. This is something what we as Team Al Shabak is so proud of it because we have introduced a new state-of-art region's first training center, vehicle graphics training center in the heart of Dubai. At Al Shabak, education has always been a part of our company's culture. Our chairman, Mr. Nabawi, together with Ms. Mani Nabawi, has always believed that developing people is just as important as supplying premium products. On that concept, we are open in a state-of-art training center in Dubai. As everyone knows, operating such a facility in Dubai involves potential investment. But our leadership viewed it as an investment for the future for the industry rather than simply selling business. Today, we conduct complimentary basic training. If anyone wants to go for an upgradation or something, we always welcome. We will do a paid section as well. This is what I want to convey to my converters right now. For the
Thank you,
business
Jitesh.
world,
Right.
we
Jitesh,
also
I will come for the training, and you have to help me a little bit because
sure.
packaging ME, I'm not.
Right now.
Provided
I'm
you don't become my competition and Julius's competition, please.
We have competition already.
No, Yasmin, my application
I
is
can
different.
just you can have a just look in our training center. I'm sitting inside the training center. This is how our training center looks. We do all those.
Oh, it's required. Definitely, innovation and
Yeah,
training
you can
is
come and
required. Yeah,
you can
I
come
mean,
and
it's
see
very
all
important.
this application over here. You can do training yourself. We'll help you to manage your upscale your skills.
Wonderful. So, thank you very much, all three of you. You have been a wonderful panel, and I learned a lot. I must say this, Ashik. I think I should say that I learned a lot. I'm sure you learned, and all our audience for sure have really benefited out of all these important points. So, today's discussion, let me just wrap it up. It has actually demonstrated that successful fleet branding depends on integration of several disciplines. Right? What we saw so many points. It begins with understanding the customer's operating requirements, and it also depends on the selection of materials appropriate for each vehicle, different vehicles, applications, environment conditions. It then requires controlled artwork, as Julius was mentioning, and we didn't touch another point, which is color management, with consistency of print comes in play, but that's also very important, isn't it? And production planning, skilled installation is very important. We saw about the artists, or let's say the people who wrap this, how skillful they are and how challenging it is to have all these people. So anyway, technology will continue to improve productivity, but investment in people is very important, and specification knowledge and also process control is very important. So training, as Jitesh was mentioning about installer training, and it will remain very, very important, I would say. Sustainability, we saw about that. It's a very important point, and moving forward, municipalities looking at that. And today we don't have a policy in place like Europe. Once policy comes, we all will be stuck to that particular policy. If you have to produce that using a particular ink, particular adhesive, particular substrate, it's not the choice of the consumer, it's a choice of the policy, and we have to apply that, and that's coming soon also. So anyway, it was a very knowledgeable webinar. Thank you. So on behalf of SGI MENA, and also on behalf of Packaging ME, I would like to thank all three of you, Jitesh and also Yasmin and also Julius. Thank you for joining us and updating us. And over to you, Ashik.
I don't think I could have summed that any better, Ben. So thank you so much for that. Again, thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Julius. Thank you, Dinesh, for being a part of this session. Thank you. So again, before we end the session, I just wanted to quickly mention that we are going to introduce an SGI Graphics Cup during the SGI MENA event that's taking place from the 7th to the 9th of December. So we're trying to bring in talented installers, creative designs, and making sure that we're trying to get those industry-leading brands to the show too. So we're going to have an announcement coming up shortly as well. So make sure that you have your calendar set for these dates, and see you in the next fall session. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ben, once again. Take care. God bless, and let's have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you, panelists.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
You're welcome.